Tyler, you say you have mixed emotions, but overall, how are you doing tonight?
I mean, I'm doing fine, outside of football, of course. But yeah, football definitely interesting. I mean, thankfully, I guess our game was earlier in the week, so I didn't really have as much, I guess, to worry about watching all of the games today because I watched pretty much all of them to some degree. Props to
Yeah,
NFL Red Zone, so I pretty much just scrolled through the rest of the games, especially during like the 4 o'clock hour, because I think the 1 o'clock games were far better than the 4 o'clock games in general.
yeah,
So, I mean, tonight's game, which is coming up pretty soon, should be pretty exciting. But
yep.
yeah, I mean, I'm bummed out, of course, the Ravens lost, but it wasn't like, it's not the end of the world. It was a heartbreaking loss, of course, but
It was a good game though. I watched. I was with my girlfriend's friends, and I guess we were watching the replay. So, and I'm not like a big football person, but I was actually getting into it the last like probably 5 minutes of the game, and I was like,
yeah,
oh damn, that would have been cool if they went to overtime.
it was a good game all around. I mean, from
Yeah.
beginning to end. I mean, it's the Chiefs. I mean, they've won multiple Super Bowls. They
Yeah.
play pretty tough. Ravens are also one of the best teams usually. So
Mhm.
it was a drag out fight. It just is unfortunate that things didn't go our way in multiple ways, whether it be the play calling itself or the officials. The referees were definitely not in our favor in that game whatsoever. So that also is very disappointing. But yeah. So we'll see how it goes, I guess, next week because they play the Raiders next week. But, I mean, it could be worse. The Bengals lost to the Patriots, so.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Go ahead, Eric. That's better. All right, let's go to some of the games here, and let's start with Eric with the Patriots. What was your reaction to the Patriots today?
Oh man, 60. I'll tell you what. I didn't expect a whole lot from the New England Patriots this year because you got a new coach, your team's on a rebuilding mode, and you got a few players left over, and then I figured the Patriots defense take a dent from with the departure of Matthew Judon, but I'll tell you what, they have stepped up. They have stepped up today, and
Yeah,
having Jacoby Brissett start, that really did pay off because Patriots won. I mean, Brissett was throwing the ball. He was, doing good. And Ramondre Stevenson, he's one guy. He's one running back that you need to look out for because he has been running that ball like crazy. I mean, and Joey Sly, the new kicker, has done well, been perfect. So, and the Patriots team effort, gave them the victory, 16-10. I got to call out the Pain and Gain podcast, Alex Putnam, Timothy McClelland, and freaking Lucas Cantwell, who thinks that the Bengals are a stone cold lock to beat New England. What happened, boys? I'll tell you what happened. They proved you wrong, man. You underestimated the Patriots. Hey, that's a big mistake. I think, and with that win, I think we're going to see. I think if the Patriots keep up something like this and they got the confidence going, I just think the Patriots could get back to where they used to be, but who knows for sure. But right now, it's one game, one victory, one game at a time. Congratulations, Jerron Mayo, won. First coach to win his debut since 1991 as a head coach.
A very long time, yes.
Yeah, it's been a very long time. You're talking about 33 years. And Dick Pearson was the last head coach to win for the Patriots in his debut.
So you think the Browns still win?
Do not underestimate the team that you're betting against. I mean, I'm not a gambler, but
do you want to know what happened?
What?
The stake was that me and my coworker, we would do 20 diamond push-ups.
Diamond push-ups. Never heard of diamond push-ups, huh? Interesting.
Yeah. Because since it's early, we want to put the stakes a little lower. But if my team and his team go one-on-one, we will bet with cash.
I'll tell you what.
Damn.
Wow.
Even though I'm not a betting person, I don't gamble at all. But I have advice: do not underestimate the opponent you're betting against, because you never know.
Because
you never
Unless
know.
it's the Panthers.
I'm
No,
sorry.
the
The
old
Most of the time, I just bet on my team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well,
It's actually impressive. I mean, I think the best way I could describe really the Bengals and Patriots game is just the overall defense. I think the defense really was the big step up here as far as to why the Patriots were able to overcome the Bengals. Also, it didn't help that T. Higgins was playing. You know, T. Higgins was not playing. Jamar Chase had like a meet in an okay kind of game, but like there was a lot of fumbles. I mean, that one fumble was crazy with
Yeah.
Gesicki like running into the end zone and fumbling right at the goal line.
Yeah.
all right, let's go. Before we go to Jesse, we'll go to Dragon to. Let's just talk about the Eagles. So go ahead.
You know
Brazil.
what? Well, first of all, preseasons, while it don't matter to most of us fans, I do believe that preseasons do matter to the Eagles when they play. But based on what I saw on Brazil, I'm not gonna lie, I missed out on the first 3 quarters. I didn't get to watch it until the fourth quarter. But based on what I saw, I feel like the way. Okay, let's talk about Saquon Barkley, their new runner back. Saquon Barkley, I consider him how you say it? A heavy hitter, right? Like a big gun.
Yeah,
He's
he
like
scored most of their points.
he's one of the big guns in the team. But in my opinion, I feel like they're like not using Devontae Smith, number 6, and more efficiently, and especially number 11, AJ Styles, because
AJ Styles,
I feel
AJ
like
Brown.
yeah, those AJ Browns, and Devontae Smith, my 2 favorite wide receivers. I feel like when they're going against the Packers were really ready. But what I noticed about the Eagles, they are too focused on rushing down. In fact, Jalen Hurts fumble the catch. And when
Yeah,
I
that new
saw that,
center they have for Kelsey is the greatest.
I was like, oh shit! But good thing for Saquon Barkley, even though he came from the New York Giants, he really put a lot of dedication in the Eagles, and I put a lot of credit on him saving our fumble. So I do believe that the
Yep.
Eagles, they do play very recklessly. It seems like the defense is more reliable. I don't know. I don't know much about the defense. I do believe that they need to be more aggressive when their opponents are trying to be on the offense. Like
Yes.
I can't say much about their D team, but I do know one thing: defense wins games. So I do believe that the defense got to learn how to adapt to their opponent's gameplay. Because like when the opponents play against us, like when they're on the offense, they have no problem.
Yeah.
But when they're on the defense, they have a problem. So I do.
How about them Cowboys?
Oh, okay.
Yes.
First and foremost, let's look at the deal Dak Prescott signed, a $240 million extension. That makes him the highest paid quarterback in the league. But has he earned it? Prescott is 2-5 in the playoffs. Tony Romo had a 2-4 playoff record, but Troy Aikman had a 11-5 playoff record and 3 Super Bowls. And Roger Staubach was 13-7 in his Hall of Fame career, also with 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
So I'm at a wait and see. It's early to tell if the Cowboys, in my opinion, will make the postseason, even though they won in Cleveland. We still have the Saints and the Ravens. Dak Prescott, while he is reliable in the regular
Yeah.
season, the postseason, he doesn't show up. So that's
Yeah.
my take on the Cowboys.
Yeah,
I was
it's tough
surprised.
though because so many of the highest paid quarterbacks in the list now. I mean, the majority of them outside of Mahomes, they haven't won. They haven't really had a whole lot of playoff success or won Super Bowls. Because when you look at the list, it's like Jordan Love hasn't won anything. Jalen Hurts went to a Super Bowl, lost. Joe Burrow went to a Super Bowl, lost. Lamar also goes to the playoffs, loses, hasn't been to a Super Bowl. It's just whoever's the next man up. Like Tua, also, it's just as the years go on, the prices are just going to go up to these quarterbacks, no matter how much success they get. And then you have people like Daniel Jones in New York who get $160 million and are horrible.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Playoff
My
appearance.
brother-in-law is a Giants fan. He told me all about it, man.
I feel bad for them. I mean, they definitely needed Saquon out there today, and they played terribly.
Lucas, your Steelers won today at Atlanta. Your thoughts on that performance?
Okay, so the performance on today. All right, so I think the Steelers overall, with having Justin Fields starting last minute, I think he honestly did a good enough job to get the job done today. I think the problem today was officiating. Officiating was absolutely horrendous. Brad Rogers and his crew looked embarrassing today. It was an embarrassing performance for referee officiating wise. There was 38 flags in that game. It was absolutely abysmal for an NFL game to have 38 flags. Like, some of the flags were absolutely ridiculous. Being the worst one, which could be losing our punter for the season, which was a roughing the kicker that should have been called and would have pretty much iced the game. Oh no, it's now holding on the guy who roughed the kicker, which makes absolutely no sense. I've never seen that call in any form of professional football. So that was terrible. And then I think the offense, they did everything we could. There are a few questionable calls here and there, but at the end of the day, the defense got the job done. Chris Boswell is an absolute beast. I think he's better than Justin. I think right now he probably competes with Justin Tucker for best kicker in the league. And I think the Steelers do have a really good shot at being a good playoff team. I definitely think we're going to win against the Broncos next week. I think we got a really good chance at that. I think Justin Fields is definitely an improvement over what we had last year with Kenny Pickett, Mitch Trubisky, and Matt Rudolph. But we'll see if Russ comes in next week. It is his former team. We'd like to see him play there, but who knows how his injury is going to be. It makes no sense for me that Russell Wilson was dressed in full pads, but yet he was inactive. That made absolutely no
It
sense.
sounded like he wanted to play, but they advised him not to.
Yeah, that's what I think probably would happen too. I think our defense still looks really good. A player that I don't think many people are talking about, who's been a really good underrated free agency signing as of now, who had a really good game, is Deshaun Elliott. We got him from the Carolina Panthers. He got the game-sealing interception against Kirk Cousins.
He used to be a Raven.
Oh, yeah, he did used to be a Raven, too. So, yeah, I like the fact that he honestly had a good game. He played really well. Joey Porter Jr. played a good game. I think our defense is probably one of the best in the league. And I think our defense pretty much can. If we could hold we could all have our defense perform as well as it did today. Like, trust me, we could get more sacks, but I think we're going to be in great hands. Our defense is great. Our offense does need a little work, though. Najee did have another good game, too. Najee had another good game. I think Najee Harris had a really good game as well. Like, solid overall performance. Offensive line, even though we were missing one of our offensive linemen, I think they did a solid enough job, only allowing 2 sacks to Justin Fields, but still, I think that the Steelers overall, I think we're in good shape for the rest. I think we're in good shape. We got a pretty comfortable schedule until like later on the season. I think we got a really good chance of going into the bye. I think we realistically might only lose one game. I think we could definitely beat the Broncos. We definitely could beat the Chargers. We could definitely beat the Colts. The Colts will be a challenge, but I think we can beat them. Dallas will probably be one of our tougher games. Vegas, we're definitely going to beat. The Jets, I think we could maybe one of our losses, and then we play the Giants, who we're going to smoke them easily.
Yeah.
So I think we
Poor Daniel Jones.
Only one loss going into the bye.
All right. Interesting.